welcome to my kitchen. Here we are again, one more time. And today I'm gonna be baking. It is cold outside, it's perfect day to bake. If you've seen my videos, I love to bake when it is rainy and cold. It's not raining, but it's cold and gloomy. Perfect day to brighten my day, bake. So today I'm gonna do something that I've made it once. But growing up, our neighbors used to make this all the time. And that's when I make this, I think of those two ladies that lived next door to us. It's called Carrilhos. Some is Carrilhos, some is Spikes. There's different names. There's different recipes. So my friend Margaret from back east, she always provides me a lot of recipes. She sent me this recipe years ago, but I did my own spin. You know, I don't make stuff the same way all the time. I love to put my spin. So let me show you what I have. In here I have 4 cups all-purpose flour. This one I have 4 cups cornmeal. This is the Portuguese cornmeal, but it's the yellow flour. I like the yellow. Some people make with the white. I like the yellow because my memory was the yellow flour. I have 2 cups of sugar, 6 eggs, whole eggs, 3 cubes of butter that I melted in a microwave. I have 1 tablespoon of lemon zest. This is where my spin comes. The ones that Margaret gave me didn't have none of that. And I have 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon baking powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, the other spin. So anyway, so in here, I'm gonna put my eggs beating with my sugar and the butter. And we're gonna beat that for 5 minutes until it's like pale yellow. You see my videos, you always see me say pale yellow because that's where that consistency of the eggs being beaten and become fluffy. And you want this butter melted but not hot because you don't want to scrambled eggs. So I'm gonna beat this here for 5 minutes and then I'll come back and show you. Like pale yellow, and I'm going to put my lemon zest. And I'm going to put all the other spices. And I'm going to add slowly the flours. I'm going to start with cornmeal flour. The reason I started with the cornmeal flour is I don't want this to be tough. So if I started with this one, then I don't have to beat the mixture too much. Okay? Now I add the all-purpose flour. the recipe doesn't ask for any milk, but if you see the mixture is a little dry, because we're going to put this in a piping bag, you might have to have a little bit of milk. Let's see. It's a good consistency. I think it'll be good to go through the, but like I said, if you find that it's a little too hard to go through the piping bag or through the cookie, if you have the cookie press that does cookies, then you add a little bit of milk, but we'll see. And the reason I added some cinnamon to this, when I try to cook, you know when you eat something when you're a kid and you think, oh my gosh, it's so delicious. And now as an adult, you go and try it and it's like, oh, it tastes nothing like what I remember. Well, this is one of those. Like they were so good then that now you taste it because, oh, they're not that good. So I add a little bit of the cinnamon and I add a little bit of the lemon zest to kind of flavor this a little bit. And then I'm also going to sprinkle some cinnamon and sugar before we bake them. So I'm going to let this sit here for maybe about 15 minutes so those flavors can blend and the flour can absorb everything, and then we'll know if I need to add some milk because of that flour is going to absorb all the moisture from the butter and the eggs, and it might be too hard to put it through the piping bag, but we'll see. So I'm going to leave this here for 15 minutes, and then I'll come back. Okay, friends, it's been 15 minutes, and I think it needs a little bit more milk. So I'm putting about half a cup of milk. You want a consistency where it's soft. You cannot hold it in your hand because we're going to put this through the pastry bag. I think it's good now. See, this is kind of a consistency you want. See, it's kind of soft, but not too soft where it won't stay. So now I'm going to put it in a piping bag, and then I'll come back and show you. Friends, I'm going to start piping my Carrilhos. And I have a pastry bag, and this is a star tip. It's 824. You want a big star tip so it can form the Carrilhos. So I'm going to put some of the mixture in here. We're going to fill as much as we can into the piping bag. These are so good because not only have that cornmeal, so you kind of push it down. Let some air out, and then you can see how the consistency, and I'm going to start shaping them. And you can shape however you want, however fat you want. And then what I do is, when I have the length, I pushed it against the cookie sheet, and it'll cut it. Some people use a knife. I just use the bottom of the cookie sheet by pressing it down. And you can make this into a long, you can make it into an S, however you want. I have my oven at 375. And see what I mean? Why you need this at a good spread. If it's too thick, it'll be hard for you to pipe. This alone, you're gonna get your hands tired. And I'm trying to make them all pretty much the same length. And I'm gonna shape all this, and I'm gonna bake them for about 20-25 minutes. And then when they're done, I guess in a way that's why people call them spike, because it kind of, the tops are spike. So some people call them spikes, Portuguese spikes. I had never heard that way. And then before I bake it, I'm going to sprinkle with some cinnamon and sugar. Again, not a traditional thing. It's something I like to do. Okay. And in here I mix about a half a cup of sugar with a tablespoon of cinnamon, however you want it. And this is just to kind of enhance that cinnamon. And so just sprinkle before you bake it. Generous or light, however you want. And the reason I done this, I made them before. And I give it to somebody and they says, oh, they don't have very much flavor. It's just like a butter cookie. And I go, oh, I gotta change that. See here you have my first ones. And I'm gonna put them in the oven and they're gonna be baking. And I'm gonna shape the rest. Here it is, friends. I am done making my carrilhos. Look at the abundance I have here. I made some in the shape of an S. I remember my mom making some in the shape of an S. And these are so delicious with that sugar on top. You gotta try this. So here's another idea of a recipe, a plain, easy recipe where I changed it and turned it into my own recipe with different flavors. You definitely can taste that little, the cinnamon, and then also you can taste the lemon. Here it is. They're nice. They're crunchy on the outside, but they're soft in the inside. This one's still warm. And they're not very sweet because I cut down the sugar. So, anyway, give it a try. Try this recipe. And you will see how it will bring memories from your childhood, especially if you were brought up with these. So, I know these as carrilhos. Some people know as spikes. Whatever they are good. So, you try them and give me some feedback. What do you think? So, until next time, have a good day. Let's get cooking.